Right, and now recognize for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Trump administration seems to be on this like science-free deregulation spree. I think it's endangering our health and safety. And look, as our national policymakers, we have to balance multiple interests, including supporting the innovation and the developers, but also protecting communities and future generations. Yet, the administration's approach to policy, to me, seems singularly focused on growing profits of executives versus the other side of things. And we see what's going on right now at the NRC. Someone from DOGE with zero nuclear energy background has ordered the NRC to, quote, rubber stamp applications for new nuclear reactors. Now, look, I'm excited about the potential of advanced nuclear reactors, SMRs, as part of the solution to our dependence on fossil fuels. But when we're dealing with something as complex as nuclear power generation and as volatile as nuclear fission, speed alone is not the answer. Although we want to be able to streamline things, we want to use technology as best we can. Mr. Burns, the Nuclear Innovation Alliance, which is a nuclear energy industry think tank, wrote, quote, undermining NRC's independence is damaging to both long-term U.S. interests to the ongoing work that is required to ensure that nuclear power can provide reliable and clean energy to power the American economy, end quote. Why is the nuclear industry itself concerned with attacks on the independence of the NRC and Trump's attempts at rapid deregulation?
Well, I think, Congressman, the reason is that not only historically have we had a regulatory system, that's the expectation under U.S. law as well as, I say, the international paradigm. But it can provide confidence. I'm going beyond just licensing here. I'm going to in terms of the operation and accountability of those who operate the facilities. Now, granted, there are things within the industry itself, the Institute of Nuclear Power Operations that was founded after the 3 Mile Island accident, that adds value to that. And there's communication between the NRC and INPO over the respective work. But again, there is a need for ensuring public confidence, and the role of having a strong regulator has been important to that commitment and that role.
Yeah, and this is damaging the reputation of American reactors and has big potentials of slowing down what we want to do. We heard from Mr. Epstein, one of our witnesses, who I've met with before. Obviously, have big disagreements with him on the existence of a climate crisis, but we're talking about something else. He mentioned, a timeline of the 1975 and the 80s when we saw a downturn, reactors not being built. Many cases, many closed. He blames it all on the NRC, but something else might have happened around this time period too that might have pushed public sentiment around nuclear to dramatically drop. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Burns?
Well, to begin with, in terms of what the statistical numbers are, that since the 3 Mile Island accident, something like 51 power reactors came into operation in the United States. Now, granted, since the 1990s, it's 3, the 2 Vogel units and the Watts Bar unit 2. But part of this is what you have is public confidence. You have issues with respect to, and there was some allusion to this in terms of the grid, how the grid is managed, and the economics of there. That has been some of it. Low natural gas prices, the emergence of solar and wind production, and post-TMI. And we're seeing that even just today, where you're seeing some of the post-TMI restrictions on new nuclear having been lifted. I think like Wyoming is one of the more recent states, and there are some others. So that public confidence piece, combined with other things within the industry itself, also contribute in terms of where you didn't have the big renaissance in the early 2000s as was perhaps planned for.
Yeah, and nuclear energy by definition, I mean, I think we have to admit it is a dangerous thing. But what makes it safe, and we want to make it safe, is through the policies that we pass, the work that's done at taking something that by definition is a dangerous thing and making it safe to use in the United States. And I think we can look at the fact that the United States, I mean, we can boast that we haven't had a single civilian reactor-related death in 50 years of the NRC's existence, and that didn't happen by accident. Again, I'm not here to say there's not, you know, that there's nothing we need to do in Congress to help make sure that we streamline that, possibly using modeling, simulation, different things like that, so we can move in a faster way, because we want to see this done. But this knee-jerk reaction of deregulation, again, many times can cause unintended consequences, of course, if, God forbid, something were to happen. Thank you for the extra time, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.